Hello all, welcome to Gyan Easy. I hope you are doing good. So in this video we are going to talk about JSON. This video is in continuation of our earlier video. So in earlier video we talked about JSON, how to form JSON, how to read JSON, and then we talked with respect to Salesforce. We talked about how JSON can be used and can be passed using custom class. Also, we saw how we can create JSON from our custom class object. So today we'll be seeing in another utility that is present in Salesforce. So in Salesforce, we have standard objects and custom objects, and many times we get requirement that we need to send records of these objects to third-party system, or third-party system is sending some JSON file or JSON string. We need to convert that into Salesforce records and store those records in Salesforce. So in short, like we need to work on records directly to create JSON, or read JSON and create records. So in both ways, right? So uh, let's see how to do so without writing custom classes with small utility available with Salesforce, how we can make most out of it. So let's see. So I've already logged in into one of the Salesforce orgs that I have, and now in this, so let's go on developer console. Let's go on debug, and this was our last session, so I'll just comment this code out. Okay, so in this, let's say we have a requirement that we get JSON string, or we get, let's say, uh, account record, and we need to create JSON string of that record and send it to third party system. So how would we do it? Okay, so let's query one data. So let's query on account ACC equal to, let's query like select ID, name, industry, from account. I would say just limit one. Uh, let's add one filter criteria where industry is not equal to null, so that we get data properly. Okay, so we have this query. Now I need to convert this single account into a JSON string. How would I do it? Okay, so for that, Salesforce has got one beautiful utility, as you know, serialization and deserialization, just in one single sentence or in just one single statement. So JSON dot, you have these utilities or methods that are provided by Salesforce. So one of them is serializing. So we need to serialize account record into JSON. So we'll use serialize. Now in serialize, we need to pass object, right? So object here would be ACC. Now this is going to give us one string. So let's debug it out. System.debug JSON str. Okay, so let's execute it and see what is the result. So if we see here, see, if I just see, say, debug logs, and I show it, see, now this debug log gives us proper JSON string. This is what JSON, right? So we got ID, name, industry. So this way, Salesforce has utility where we can easily convert our any SObject into JSON. So account was the object, we converted into JSON. Now be it standard object or custom object, this holds true. So now what is the logic that is getting applied in backend? So logic here is, see, we have account record, we are converting that into JSON using serialization. Now you know serialize method takes object and creates JSON string, right? So object is what? It is instance of any class that you have in backend. It is instance of class or instance of controller that you have in backend. Now you know all these as objects have respective controllers in backend, and that's where Salesforce can easily give this utility or convert this account into JSON string. Okay, so that's other part. Right now let's see now how we can deserialize this JSON string and get account back. So in reverse direction, what we'll say, account, let's say JSON, JSON ACC, JSON account equal to, now we have deserialize utility. So JSON dot deserialize. Now what to deserialize? We need to serialize JSON string, that is JSON str that we have. So serialize this. Now we need to serialize into what? We need to serialize this into account object, right? So we need to say account. Now account dot, we'll have to say class, because that's the syntax that we have. So in account class we need to deserialize our this JSON string is what we are instructing here. Now this, as you know, that this is going to return us generic object, that is object that we have in backend, root object. So we'll have to now parse it. So how to parse is like in bracket, we'll have to say parse it into account. Now this will give us account. Now if we debug it, you'll find that we have received our account back, that is JSON ACC. Let's try it out. So in backend, this debug is getting opened, and see, we have our JSON string. So on line number 5 we had converted, initially we had converted our account into JSON string, and on line number 5 we had displayed that JSON string. Now we got that JSON string and we converted that JSON string into account. So this is JSON string that we have converted back into account. So obviously in any scenario, these two operations won't be in one single execution or one single transaction, but either of them you will receive and you will have to convert into other. So that's where this utility helps us. Now it holds true for even list of records. So right now we are just talking about one single account record. Let's assume that we have multiple records, that is we have list of accounts. So this can be still used as utility. How to do so? So let's say we have list of account, I would say ACC list, and I'll now give limit as 10. Okay, now these are, we'll get 10, around 10 records in this list. We'll copy this list and now we'll say was this serialize it into JSON string. What to serialize? We need to serialize account list. we'll debug it. Now we'll get JSON string, and now this account list is converted into JSON. I need to get back my account list from this JSON. So how to do so? So it would be list of account JSON ACC list, I would say, is equals to, now return type has to be list of account. Parsing should be done on list of accounts. So here as well we need to say first it is list of account dot class. So this way Salesforce now understands that okay, basically there is a JSON string. This JSON string contains list of account records and we need to deserialize it. That's it. Okay, so let's see if we really get this list. If we want, we can just rename it better way, so it's JSC list. Okay, let's run it. Now see, we have debug log. Now see, in this debug log, if we observe, we have now not one single record, but there are multiple records. See, there are multiple records. Yeah, so this is how you can use JSON utilities, that is serialization and deserialization, and we can easily convert a single record or list of records, be it of any type, be it of custom, be it of standard, into JSON, and we can get our list of records back from JSON. Okay, now where this utility can be used, or which are the use cases where this can be used. So first use case, as we discussed earlier, so if we want to send any records from Salesforce to third party system, so third party system, let's say, is accepting JSON strings, then we can easily just get our records which we need to send to third party system. We can convert it into JSON and pass that JSON. We are done. So our constructing JSON, that logic gets reduced. We do not need to write any code to construct JSON. In other way, if third party system sends back some response, we can deserialize it. These are two, this is one of the major use cases that we have. Apart from this, we have like, let's say, if you know, there is a limit in Salesforce uh, on feature method. So you know, feature method can only accept primitive data types or list of or collection of primitive data types. It cannot accept non-primitive data types. So let's say I want to send account or account list to future method, so it's not possible. So in this case, for some reason, let's say we need to send that list of accounts to our future method. So how to achieve it? We can use JSON to do so. So from sending, we can send it as JSON string. So sender is sending JSON string, and receiver is going to receive JSON string and convert back to account or list of account. So let's see this small utility or this small use case. So I'll close all these debug logs. So let's say I have this account trigger. Now in this trigger, well, let's say we need to call one future method. So let's create one class where future method is there. So let's write one class called contact creator. Now this contact creator, let's say it just creates one contact. Now what we need to do is, as and when new account gets created, we need to create new contact. So to do so, we have this account trigger which will call contact creator. Now contact creator, let's say, has one method which is future method, which creates contact. So in short, account gets created immediately when contact gets created, but it gets created in future job, right? So how to write future method is future. We'll need to annotate as @future, and then we can write it. So let's say public static void create contact. Okay, and I can accept, let's say we say list of account. What happens? See, when I say list of account acc list, so if you try to save it, you'll get error. Error says that future methods do not support parameter type of list. Okay, I mean type of account, type of string they can accept. List of string, that's fine. Now let's say fine, list of account they are not accepting. Fine, let's try to have it as single account. Are they accepting it? See, same error, that they cannot accept as type account. So basically we cannot send SObjects to this method, future method, right? Now how to achieve then? I need to send it. So solution for it would be, we'll be sending IDs or list of IDs, and then we are requiring account records and we are using it. That's one of the solutions obviously we have. But let's say for some reason I do not want to like spend extra query over here. I do not want to use extra query inside this future, because already I am having trigger.new, that is list of accounts. So I don't want to use extra query here. For that reason, we'll have to now send JSON string to this method. Okay, and then this method will convert that JSON into account. So let's assume that we have string, we send it here string, let's say SSC, okay, SSC JSON, okay, account JSON. Now this is acceptable. Let's now convert this JSON string into our account list. So for account SSC in SSC list, what we need to do is SSC. So we need to create contact. So con is equals to new contact, right? So we have new contact, let's say last name equal to sec dot name hyphen con. Okay, okay, now what is this sec list and what is this contact? So contact would be contact con, and what is this sec list? So sec list is list of accounts that we need to convert from JSON string. So we'll have to say list of account sec list equal to, now we'll have to say JSON dot deserialize. So we're just assuming that we will get some JSON string, and now we need to typecast or convert it into list of accounts. So it is list of account dot, we'll have to say class. So convert it into list of account. This has to be okay. So we have typecasted it, we are using it, we are creating one contact, and let's create list of contact con list. Now we are trying to bulkify our code and hence writing few more lines of code how to bulkify and how to follow best practices. So that is like development activity. So let's say con. Okay, so this is how we have now inserted our contacts. So let's see whether it is allowed to save or not. So if you see, this will be successfully saved, no error, all good. And now we need to call this method. So contact creator dot create contact, that we need to send JSON, right? So we need to now serialize it first. Okay, this has to be after. Now this SSC JSON will have to say string SSC JSON equal to, we have now trigger.new which contains all the accounts which have triggered this trigger. So let's say string account JSON equal to JSON dot, now serialize my list of accounts, that is trigger.new into JSON. So we're good, we got JSON, we sent it. Now this JSON is received by this, and we just got it back as an account list, and we created child contacts. That's it. So now if we go on accounts, and if we create new account, so let's name it as demo JSON. Okay, I think source is mandatory in backend, so we'll just save it. Fine. So all required info we'll have to add, and then we'll just save it. As soon as this record is saved in backend, if we see in developer console, if we see logs, so see our future is called, which is successfully ran. This is called, our future is successfully completed. It has inserted one contact, and let's go back and see if we have contact. So there is backend utility which changes name from any normal name to updated account name. So That's fine. Name has been changed. Yeah. Okay. Now contact is not created. The reason is we have not mapped it. So basically contact is already created in backend, but we need to map account ID to it. Yeah. So in the interest of time, let's create one account and see if child account is created or not. Okay, so it's fine. So we cut, we save it. So demo JSON is created, and if you see that contact is also got created with the name demo JSON 1 con, right? So that's how we convert our JSON strings into SObject records and SObject records into JSON string, and that's how we can use it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in next session.